Today's episode is brought to you by Forvis Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. In a little over 3 years, Jetlag Remedy has soared from $0 to $3 million in annual sales. What started as a house cleaning service for cashed-up and time-poor travellers returning home now has a team of 45 cleaning professionals in New South Wales, Queensland and the ACT. The woman behind the brand is Simone Tsigolis. She explains to Chris Ashmore the idea behind Jetlag, a service for busy families who are red-eyed and tired from their overseas trip.
So we would come in and stock the fridge, do groceries and do any laundry that's there. We would wash cars and basically do anything to ensure that the family is set up, ready to go, because returning home after travel with kids, towing them into a messy house is just not something that is fun for anyone. So we had launched it primarily to high-end executives because obviously they see time as an asset. So there was no service quite like ours that had existed at the time. Still, there's no service quite like ours. So yeah, I guess we just saw a gap in the market for caring, compassionate cleaners who would not only get the job done, but really go above and beyond in terms of setting up the home for those busy families.
Right. Well, when you set it up, we hadn't heard of the coronavirus and then it happened. How did you deal with that?
COVID was interesting in that the cleaning industry was considered still an essential service. So still throughout COVID, despite us having to pivot 360 degrees, there was a huge gap in the market for good quality cleaners. I think a lot of backpackers and travellers did return to their home countries, which meant that there weren't many cleaners around. And I know that there were some concerns with entering houses where there potentially may have been COVID.
Absolutely. Now, there are plenty of cleaning companies out there. What differentiates you from your competitors?
Probably start, I guess, the recruitment. I know that we invest a lot of time into making sure that we have the right fit for the right family. So we like to dot all our I's and cross all our T's in that, making sure, everyone has police checks. We have this whole kind of online learning platform that we have built, which is video-based with translations. So those who join our team with English not as their first language, they are able to easily understand and see visually, I guess, what our difference is compared to that of other cleaners. And everyone on our team is really passionate about cleaning. It sounds a bit crazy, but we do have a bit of a thrill from, transforming the house from before to after and seeing the transformation that we can make. I say to my team that the work that we're doing is really comparable to that of a psychologist. We are really passionate about freeing up the mental load that so many of us carry these days. So yeah, I guess it goes from our recruitment through to our training, through to ensuring that everyone is passionate and they're not just doing it, as a job for the money. We do pay well above the award rate as well, just to make sure that, the whole team are happy. And I think people really enjoy working for us as well. Some people have said it's, one of the best jobs that they've ever had, where they've felt really included and well recognised, I guess.
So you provide information and videos for those whose English is a second language, and you provide it in their language. How exactly do you do that?
So it's quite technical. Basically, what we did is we went on site and we got the video content. And then what we did is we aligned one of my admin team's voiceover to that video. So it would kind of talk through the steps that the person's doing on screen. And then with AI these days, there's so many great tools that can translate it into different languages. And so what we were then able to do is pop subtitles onto the video. And then there's a lot of text as well that everyone has to go through, whether it's quizzes or just onboarding and, understanding, I guess, processes and checklists. We've translated everything into other languages.
And you can effectively do it for any language.
Yes, that's right.
And how do you market yourselves?
We do some publications in our current area. So when we were a finalist for the Northern Beaches local awards, we did a few ads in the Peninsula Living. And pretty much up until I'd say mid this year, we hadn't spent really $1 on any social media ads. It was really just word of mouth.
Well, it shows that you're doing a good job if you rely on word of mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Can you tell me about your interview and onboarding processes?
Our rigorous hiring process includes in-depth interviews, reference checks, police checks, working with children checks, as well as skill assessments through on-site trials, perhaps if it's at my house or one of our other admin team's house. We have the onboarding process, which includes our online learning academy, which is video-based, and that is really great for those whose English is not their first language. So we have subtitles on there, and they can select which language they would like to view that in. Our on-site training and quality checks are also crucial to our success. So we work with our team to pop in, every few months and make sure that all areas are getting done. If we see any opportunities to upsell services, whether that be an oven clean or a fridge clean or pressure cleaning, house washing, we really see that as an opportunity to upsell our services as well.
And how is that going? Has that been receptive? Has that been good for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, these busy families, they might see what needs to get done, but they might not have the means or the time to really, reach out to multiple trades to get the ball rolling. So by us starting that conversation and taking initiative with what needs to be done in a house, I think that's one thing that our clients love about us.
Terrific. Well, you've been around a few years now. What's the future for Jetlag?
Good question. Sometimes I need to just pause and recalibrate and really think about what is next. In year 1 or 2, I was working with a business coach, and I think I've actually got an award here where he had sent me a trophy where it says that, congratulations, you've had your first month of $50,000. And I was over the moon then, but now we're hitting up to $3 million in revenue each year, which is a huge increase from those days. So whilst it's not all about chasing the revenue, I really just want to make an impact in people's lives through both the client perspective, freeing up their mental load, but also I love payday. I love rewarding my staff for their hard work. And I just love to see how much of an impact we can have, from a team perspective, but also from a client perspective. I know, long term is I would love to be along the east coast of Australia. So we've just recently branched out into Queensland. So we're currently in Brisbane and Gold Coast. And there's a few other cities down the east coast which are just shouting Jetlag Remedy. So yeah, we're not quite, fully across the east coast, but definitely Brisbane, Gold Coast, Byron Bay, Central Coast, then obviously Sydney and down to Canberra, which is awesome. So would love to expand into Melbourne shortly, as well as I've got probably like a $4 or $5 million goal within the next 1 or 2 years in revenue.
That was Simone Tsigolis, founder and director of Jetlag Remedy. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Forvis Mazars. To find out more, visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.